days in front of Christmas, and the Iona Gaels have quite a treat here in New Rochelle. They're playing host to Kansas out of the Big 12. Hello, everyone, and welcome inside the Hines Athletic Center. I'm Ian Sachs alongside Jack Clark. And Jack, Iona winless on the season. They've got a mighty tough test today with the Jayhawks out of the Big 12.
Yep, tough test, like you said, final non-conference game for either side before this winter break. Kansas coming off a tough loss, not going to want to drop two in a row, so it's going to be a good game here today.
Jayhawks already matching their win total from last season. Let's take a look at the keys to the game.
For Iona, they got to get ready for an early Christmas, a chance to give everyone associated with the Maroon and Gold an early Christmas present with a win here today. And they need no mental mistakes in order to do that. They got to play with high energy, but rein it in a little bit, and they got to avoid those costly turnovers that have hurt them this season. For Kansas, they got to play defense. They're one of the best scoring defenses in the nation, 24th, so play up to that standard and offensively crash the glass. They have at least 12 offensive rebounds in all 8 wins, so they're going to look to reach that mark here today.
And offensively, we're going to look at the two leading scorers for both teams.
Yep, Kylie Kopatich, the guard over on Kansas, 15.8 points per game. She's a catalyst offensively, and she needs to get going here today for them. And on Iona's side of things, Alexis Lewis, junior guard out of Pennsylvania, she's got 4 double-doubles on the season. She struggled a little bit with her shooting percentage early on in games, so she's going to want to find some open shots and find some early buckets, seeing one go down, maybe start a little trend offensively for herself.
We'll see who gets the better end of this one. It's Kopatich versus Lewis, Gaels versus Jayhawks next on ESPN3. And Justice getting the start here because Kansas has so much more size than Iona. Justice from 3 and hits it. Rebecca Justice from deep, and it's 5-0 Iona. It's into the half court. Now it's Lions. Inside for Helgren, and she gets the basket. Nice kiss off the glass. Lewis quickly double-teamed on her first touch, and now they get it to Justice in the corner. The long jumper, good for the freshman, and Rebecca Justice has 5 of Iona's first 7 points. Lewis off the screen on the inbounds, and she gets her second basket of the afternoon. Osorio with 7 to shoot, goes inside for Richardson, 5 on the shot clock. Richardson, the reverse layup, hits, and it's all tied up at 15. Redshirt sophomore Kopatich in transition. She hits the nice little sidestep, and Coach Chambers calls for a timeout. Lions inside, and the nice little up and under move. 8 players today as Clay dials up a 3 and hits that one. Lions the only player to stay on the court for the Jayhawks as they get it inside for Clay off the lob, and she gets the basket. Iona with a fresh shot clock here inside for Clay, and Lewis to Clay yet again. Okie Williams from 3, and she hits that one. Kansas right there to pick it up as Abiola's 3 is good. Whipping it around the perimeter from the top of the key. Abiola, the bank is open for the freshman. Back-to-back trifectas to Lewis off the screen. The contested shot hit, and Alexis Lewis will be heading to the free throw line for an and one.
Working Justice a lot out there, using her to create space with screens.
And Abiola knocks down the 3 with the foul call. And Iona has pulled within 2 with an opportunity to make it a 1-point game here as we take another look. Abiola with the crossover dribble, drawing the foul from Richardson, and the freshman has lit a spark for the Gaels here as she knocks down the free throw. Kansas in front by just a narrow 1-point lead, make it a 12-0 run for Iona. Good Richardson the rebound, and she goes up the block from Justice, and now Iona can take the lead. Pulls down the rebound and back for a lot inside. That time she doesn't miss. Kopatich thought about the 3 now to Richardson, and she hits in the lane. Back-to-back field goals for the Jayhawks. Finally cooling off a little bit here in the second half. Lot inside, and she hits that one. And now Iona can hold for one final shot to Okie Williams. A 3rd try. That one hits. Okie Williams knocking down the 3 and pulling Iona back within 3. Lewis gets the offensive rebound. And now Mahoney, the jumper, is good for the lone senior on the Iona roster so far. As Mahoney gets it knocked away from her, and Kopatich wide open takes it herself in transition. Just over 2 minutes expired here in the fourth. Wilson's three is short, but three Jayhawks converge for the rebound, and it's Wilson on her own putback. Now 10 to shoot. Kansas very content with just playing clock. The wide open three from Richardson, and she hits. And Kansas now with its largest lead of the game of 15. Mahoney now. Clay from the top of the key. That one hits. And Treyana Clay with her third three. Ian Sachs now joined by the victorious head coach, Brandon Schneider. And coach, you come in here after that very disappointing loss at St. John's. How did you get your team up for this game?
Well, first off, Iona is much better than their record, and I thought, the film that we watched on them, it was very obvious for our players to give them the proper amount of respect. They've got three players that are really terrific, and then they have some nice pieces around them. And Abiola and Lewis were terrific tonight. We had to throw a little junk at them to try to slow them down a little bit, and fortunately we made a few shots down the stretch.
And, of course, the defense also clicking for you down the stretch. You held Iona scoreless for nearly 5.5 minutes in that fourth quarter. What worked so well defensively
Well,
for you there?
we mixed up our defenses, and I thought when we were able to rebound out of our zone, we were able to discourage, some of their open looks.
And now for you offensively, 48 points in the paint. That's a season high. How are you so successful to pound it inside?
Well, we tried to get out in transition some. When we got stops, they were getting back in man, and we felt like we could get it in the lane, get it to the front of the rim. But when we weren't getting stops, they did a nice job with their matchup zone, and I thought, kind of kept us out of rhythm a little bit. But for the most part, our game plan was try to attack the front of the rim.
And now, of course, that all led by Richardson with her double-double, 18 points and 10 rebounds. How impressed were you with her performance?
Well, she played really well. It's probably her best game, of the season so far for us. And what a better time to do it going into a holiday break.
And Coach, now you look ahead toward conference play. You have the Big 12 slate coming up, but you've already eclipsed last year's win total. What progress have you seen from this team as you look to conference
Well,
play?
I think, we've really been committed to the defensive end of the floor. I don't know that we have an identity yet offensively, but our kids are buying into defending and rebounding, and obviously when you're able to go out and get 7 new players, that helps too.
Well, Coach, congratulations on the win here, and good luck in Big 12 play.